Hello everyone, we are here with a timeless reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Alright, so what I'm looking at is you realizing that something has not been helpful for you, but this is like releasing beliefs that are not getting you to where you want to go. But I'm seeing this be maybe some subtle things that were popping up for you that you're becoming aware of. It's anything that was like stopping you from actually doing what you want to be doing. 5 of Coins. Exactly addressing what's going on here. So what is stopping you from doing what you want to be doing? 5 of Coins can be having a hard time in the spot that you're in. Being like, something isn't right here, like they must have made a mistake, this isn't supposed to be like me or my life or my situation, you know, stuff like that. Can also just be fear, like what if everything's not going to be okay? And these are real things too that we feel, right? Like as humans, it's the worry, like if I do this, are my guides really going to have my back? Like, is the universe really supporting me? Like, what if I'm going to end up all alone? Like, how am I going to take care of that? I have to pay for that. It's like all of those things that pop up, but you just need to look up and see that the light is shining on your face, shining through you. I'm getting like glimmers of hope, definitely in a quite challenging situation. You may just have your head down. It just feels like very heavy, maybe what you're experiencing currently, but you are soon going to see how it's all connected. The interesting thing about this 5 of Coins too is that the way that I perceive it anyway is that it looks like usually on the 5 of Coins, the 5 of Pentacles, people are on the outside because the card is like being out in the cold, you know, like you feel left out, maybe you feel separated, you could feel isolated, you could be feeling lonely, could be feeling like you don't have the type of support that you want, but it just can feel like a disconnect, like truly you have believed in the forgetting of, like thinking that you're alone here, you know, when you're actually really not. You're not alone, you're never alone. However, you could really be feeling that right now because that's basically like the paradigm of what we're meant to believe as we're put here, right? Like that's what the veil is about, having you think that you're on your own when you're really not. However, the interesting thing about this card specifically in this deck, this is the Fountain Tarot deck, for any of you that are curious. So the interesting thing about this deck is that usually on the 5 of Pentacles, the people are like outside in the cold, but in this card, it looks like they're on the inside. So you may be out here like thinking that you're on the outside when like actually in reality, you're on the inside of things. So yeah, maybe there's a bit of a narrative shift that's going to be happening for you, because I'm seeing you be like inside where it's warm, and I'm actually seeing somebody be right next to you, with you, and I'm seeing the light shining on your face, like shining directly on you. I'm hearing that it's just about looking through the window, but maybe it was something that you had like been forgetting to do. Something even that you may have lost sight of. But this is meant to instill hope. It's kind of like you forgot that the window was there, and it's reminding you by allowing the light to come through and like tap you on the shoulder. It feels like that sort of thing. It's also a light that is teaching you about how it's connected as well. But there may have been something that you weren't initially seeing. This feels like you're gonna, if you're not already, that you're going to be going through an activation of sorts. I'm getting confirmation of this. You're going to be going through an activation. Okay, so since we're talking about activations, let's talk about activation symptoms, as I have gone through many and I feel like this can be helpful for you. So we may each experience activation symptoms differently. Sometimes it can feel like you're getting a cold. Sometimes you can just feel way more tired than you normally do. Sometimes you can feel like you need way less sleep than you normally do. Also, too, sometimes when you go through an activation, I think that each of us will have like signature things, but then there will be overlapping things that we experience. For me in particular, like I always get a migraine in a very particular space, and it's like that clue to rest. For some of you, like your knee could be hurting you, and it's your guide, and it doesn't normally, it's only like at certain times, and it's your guides telling you this is time to take a break. You want to listen to your body and what it is telling you, because activation symptoms can feel like you're under the weather. You could feel a little fuzzy sometimes, and it's basically like your spirit has gone through like a vibrational shift and your body needs to catch up. Water is always very, 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 very important, and eating things like live fruits and vegetables, like pineapple. And I'm not a dietitian. Do what you feel guided to do. Eat what you feel guided to do, what you feel guided to eat. But just make sure that you're paying attention, because you could be like, I got 8 hours of sleep last night. I got 11 hours of sleep last night. I don't know why I'm still tired and feel like I need to keep all of the lights turned off and sleep again the whole day today. And it's because your body's catching up to like your internal ascension that's happening, and you need to give it time to recover. And again, like water is very, very important. Like we are made up of so much water, 70% water. That's why too it can be easier to channel and to get messages from your guides and your higher self when you're washing your hands, when you're in the shower, when you're in the bath, when you're in the ocean, when you're drinking water. Okay. Moving on. Forward. And it can also be a mix of all of those things and other things that I did not mention. It's... the list just goes on. And it depends on the person, it depends on the body that you're in, that you are currently navigating in. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing you go from where you were before and shifting into this next energy. But you may have been feeling like really badly before this, like feeling really poorly before this. Because to start off with the Five of Pentacles, this is like not having a good time. Like you may have been really struggling. This can be like mental health. It can be physical health. It can be like you being worried about a bunch of things. But it's, I get like Five of Pentacles, especially here, the way that it's coming out. It's like, it can feel like I don't want to be here right now. Like all of those things that it's like having a really hard time assimilating. It can be a sense of purposelessness that you're feeling. But I'm seeing something about like you're going to be picking up into a new routine. I'm even seeing something that you're going to find interest in. I'm seeing like leaves, flowers. I'm seeing a pyramid here. I'm seeing something that you're going to be concentrating on. For some of you, you're getting out in nature, but I'm seeing there be this threshold that you're crossing. So this like darkness and this, it feels kind of like sludge that you've been moving through. I'm seeing you're about to break out into a new energy, and it's going to feel like you've been sort of cleaned up, is the vibe that I get from this. Yeah, I'm seeing something finally has reached your third eye, and it's allowing you to break through now. I'm also seeing there be this like central focus that you have that like leads you out. So you like cross this barrier. There's like something that you're focusing on that's leading you, that's taking you from like one space into another. It feels like a density, something with the density is shifting. Because I'm seeing something was like very heavy before, and of course it was like very hard to move in. The thing about it too is that like how you were feeling is exactly how it's designed to sort of have you be feeling as well. Like all of those feelings are things that you can connect to and attach to when you're in that space. But this new, I'm hearing something about a silo. This new Yeah, we'll just call it a density that you're shifting into. I'm seeing it feel very like free, like fresh water and fresh air, and it feels very easy to breathe, and I'm seeing it feel like much more connected with like nature and natural things, and just there's like a crispness that wasn't there before, where before it even looks like there's a bit of a cocoon here, like being in a chrysalis, and you're like now breaking out of this. And so you had been feeling maybe very constricted before, and just it was a very tight space. And your soul's like, let's get out of here. And now that your body has caught up to it, it's like allowing you to like consciously shift. Because I'm seeing your spirit is like pulling you through to the other side of this, but your body is just catching up at this point. But it may have been something that felt very, very heavy, and you may have been processing through a lot. Also, too, if you're trying to flush things out, water is definitely going to help. It sounds simple, but it really does work. When you're trying to clear out energy, when you're trying to clear out anything that you feel like is dense, water helps you push everything out. It helps like recycle everything and revitalize. And it helps you channel the new energy as well. I'm also hearing something about getting the forecast. Balance is becoming restored. You could have felt really hopeless about something, like, is this thing even going to happen? Is it going to be happening? I'm seeing it's happening here. But you could have been feeling like your hope was maybe dwindling. But I'm seeing like you've realized something, you're seeing something, and now it's allowing you to move forward. Like, we're not all the way through yet, but I'm seeing us getting through to this other side. Like, we've already, I'm hearing broken ground. It's about the overall balance being restored in a way that felt very off kilter before, which is probably why you were feeling too. Like, the polarity gets very, very dense, and it feels very, very severe. And then it being like that, it like oscillates all the way back to being balanced. But the threshold had to be crossed is what I'm seeing. Okay, so now I'm seeing you getting connected with something. Oh, also too, like when you guys are going through activations, you're going to know because you will feel buzzing in your body. It will feel like, you can be going through it sometimes and not notice it. Like, we go through upgrades as well in our sleep. So if you're like, I don't notice it throughout the day, am I still going through updates? Yes, it happens when you're in your sleep as well. But for those of you that are consciously aware of it, you will, it's almost like, you know how a phone vibrates? It's like that sort of thing. It will feel like a buzzing or like a vibration that you feel, almost like for those of you that know what a TENS unit is, how it like sends those vibrations, it'll kind of feel like that, but on like the most dull setting, and you'll feel it in different areas of your body, and that'll tell you what chakra it's connecting with. Like, if you feel it in different spots of your head, like sometimes it can be on the whole crown, sometimes it can be on one side, sometimes it can be in the back, sometimes it can be like wherever, that's going to be a crown activation that you're feeling. Okay, so I'm seeing something here that you're like getting in touch with, getting back in touch with. It's like this remembering here that's happening, and I'm seeing something that you're looking into, but it also looks like something that you're learning how to manipulate. When I say manipulate, I mean transforming energy. So it's something that you're learning to work with. I'm seeing this be associated with your water energy. So this would be connected with like any sort of gifts that you have where you are connecting with energy in any way, shape, or form. I'm also seeing a sphere here too. It's like something that you're recognizing, maybe the connection between these two things. It's like something within you that maybe has a more macro projection even. Yeah, there's a big coming together here that I'm seeing as well. I'm hearing specifically the future. Yeah, there's even a shift from green to blue, which feels... It feels like this activation that's happening as well, like from the heart to the throat. But you needed to connect within the heart space to be able to then... I don't know if this can be a number of things, right? It can be like getting connected with what your heart is telling you and then getting to a place where you're going to be communicating that, and maybe like congregating with others that are in that same space. But you needed to get in touch with like your own... It's something of yours that you're connecting with, that then I'm seeing you connect with other people. Like with this Page of Cups, it's this person that's looking at their cup energy, which is going to be just the energy that you have within you. It's your auric field, it's your heart as well, it's everything that you're feeling, it's your frequency, it's connected with your mission, your purpose, and your intuition as well. And there's something here that you needed to feel for yourself, like get within your own energy. And then I'm seeing there be these other energies that you are connecting with. And rather than just feeling like it's just you and your own cup, we transition over to the Three of Cups, which is where you feel like everybody's pouring into everybody else's cup. So it doesn't feel alone. It feels more familiar in a more tangible way that you had not been feeling, especially at the beginning. Because we go all the way from the Five of Coins, which is feeling isolated, feeling alone in the dark, to then having this activation that you're going through where you're like seeing the light now and seeing the purpose of it, and like, oh yeah, like that's why I'm here, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's about restoring balance. I'm hearing something about the upgrade. And then I'm seeing you be in a space where you like want to connect with yourself, maybe in a way that you hadn't wanted to before, because of just how heavy everything had been feeling. But now I'm seeing it be like, wow, I'm connected like this. And then I'm seeing there be these other people that you're connecting with like that. But you had to find it within yourself first. It's kind of like if you wear a mask, and this happens too, like not... it happens inadvertently, right? When someone like hasn't yet recollected themselves. When you wear a mask and you're connecting with other people, it doesn't feel satisfying because you're like, oh, they're connecting with my mask and that's not really me. And so I'm still missing that intimacy. However, when you go within and you find your vulnerability and you allow that to come forward, as in you're really being yourself and not hiding anything, and you're really just like, honoring your being and honoring your incarnation and just like honoring you, you get to a point where, because you show up in that way, then other people that are on that frequency are going to connect with you, and then you get that intimacy that you want because you're allowing yourself to be seen. And so you feel like you're being seen for you, and then you can really authentically connect and integrate in that way where you're like, oh, all these other people are being real like that too, and so am I. And so you get like this closest connection that you can possible, because everyone's just being themselves. And so there's no there are no like masks or facades to have to like swim through to get to the bottom of who people are and be like, are we actually compatible? Are we not? It's just like going off of vibes and knowing immediately, and being able to finally have that intimacy that you were looking for. But it takes you being vulnerable, because if you're not vulnerable and you have the shields and you have all of that, it creates that barrier where people are connecting with these outside parts of you that you don't even actually feel are you. It's just something that you're putting on. So this is taking it all off and connecting with people in that way. But it takes you needing to get familiar with yourself in that way and be able to learn how to sort of like facilitate and foster that connection that you have with yourself, to be able to actually show up in that energy and not hide away, to open your heart. And I'm seeing like other people like a magnet just connecting with you here. And this is all about this like balance that is happening here. And I'm not just seeing this be on, like, even though this is a micro thing happening, this is also a macro thing that's happening too, where like collectively we can generally be feeling kind of like hopeless or lonely, or like, why is it like this? Everything feels very dark. It's because it's not how it's meant to be. And so there's like a dimensional shift that's happening currently, where like balance is being restored in a way where the poles have become like very heavy on either side, and so there's going to be an equilibrium force that is coming through to balance everything back. I'm hearing to help us navigate. And I'm seeing like directly what's going on, like universally, is like a reflection of what's going on within you as well. And I'm seeing like people banding together here at this point. There's like going to be like a continuous coming together that's happening, but it's all because people are, it's like this, right? Sometimes we can shy away from what it is that we're feeling because it feels so heavy, but it takes us being connected with that in order to connect with other people, and in order to feel that intimacy that we finally are searching for, and that connection with other people where we feel like they're really looking at us and they're like, wow, I really like you, or I love you so much, or I feel so similar to you. It's like that sense of connection, of feeling like family around you, feeling like people love you around you. But you have to be in that space of receiving, and your heart has to be open. But when you're in this space of five of pentacles, it can be like, I don't want to feel that, because if I'm feeling the good stuff, it also means I'm open to feeling like the bad stuff. But this is about working through that. And I say good and bad because those are, it can be our own values that we're putting on it. It's not intrinsic to what it is that we're experiencing, but it's basically like what we assign to our experience, just to clarify. So anyway, you're moving through the heavy stuff where there is this feeling of isolation, and you could have actually been like closing down your heart because you were like, it's too heavy to be feeling this stuff, it's just too much for me, it's too heavy, like I can't stop crying, or I just like can't pull myself out of this. But in actually connecting with yourself and moving towards like the light continuously in every moment, and what is drawing you and what is calling to you, it's like this opening up that's happening. I'm seeing this activation that's happening, and then I'm seeing something that, because you've opened up in this way, there's this connection that's happening, and I'm seeing this be like a bigger even movement that's kind of it's like you're a small mirror for what's happening collectively, essentially. And there is going to be a bigger coming together that happens, but it's taking this like heart chakra awakening. To have justice here, there could be something, I feel like politically is not the right word, because this feels like it's so much bigger than just like our universal systems, but there's going to be something like very, very big as far as the consciousness shift that's associated with polarity. Because this has to do, I'm hearing it has to do with the ordinance of the law. And as much as this can be a worldly thing, it can also transcend that as well. Like there are bigger implications of this too. I'm hearing the law is one. There may be channelings that you're listening to. Something that you're getting connected with. Maybe something that you're learning about. You may also learn more about polarity as well. But yeah, there could be something. It feels definitely like it's connected with the people. I'm also hearing uprising as well. Yeah, I really, this is going to be, it's all connected with like Libran type, like the archetype of Libra, which is about justice. Yeah. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.